Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for quarter one of 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Gemini, and just see what is going on for you at this time. So let's see here, Gemini. Gemini, this is going to be part one, by the way. There will be a part two to your reading linked up down below. And a bunch of this whole deck is messed up, as I've been saying to every single sign. I just haven't fixed it yet, but I don't read reversals, so that's why I'm going to be turning over any reversals. But let's see what is going on for you here, Gemini. You start off with this eagle spirit here. I'm noticing just a dip in the energy right away. I feel like my energy has lowered at the beginning of your reading. That's the best way I can describe it. I think that some of you, I get a sense of like worry. This is not a bad thing, by the way, Gemini, because I think things are going to be improving. I just wouldn't like worry about any dips or anything like that. It's like you might be dealing with a person, maybe you notice a dip in their energy, maybe they're not seeming their usual self. I feel like this is going to be changing very quickly. That's even the message I'm getting here right away, is that for some of you, it's like you could be noticing this dip in energy around you. For others, I feel like this is business or work related. It's like maybe your earnings are going down a little bit. I think this is very, very temporary, and it's not something that is going to continue because, again, the end of your reading looks freaking amazing. Chariot, Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. So there's clearly a lot of positive energy. But this card says Spirit has your back, this eagle spirit. So I feel like you are kind of protected and being guided at this time. You have the Four Swords, the Fool, and the High Priestess in your first row. The Four of Swords is like, sometimes I think the universe gives us a break. Like if you notice a dip in your income, for example, or if you notice a dip in your love life, sometimes I think the universe is like saying, no, I want you to dream. I want you to imagine like the best possible outcome that you could possibly have. I want you to imagine these things, because it's like sometimes maybe we're not giving the universe feedback, or maybe we're not telling the universe what we want. On this card here, we see this guy, he's taking a break, he's meditating or resting or praying, and he's praying for this right here. There is a person in this stained glass window up there who is receiving blessings from another person. So I do feel the universe is saying, ask me for what you want. Tell me what you want. Demand it, and you will get it. You also have the Fool here. The Fool is a card I feel that is just talking about a new beginning, a fresh start for you. So there is clearly some sort of fresh start coming into your life. You have the Ace of Swords as well. So I feel like to me, this has the feeling like you feel like you're getting a fresh start. Sometimes I think we get a fresh start and it's just like, oh, like whatever. This feels good. So, the fresh start that you're getting is something that is like a total new beginning. You also have the High Priestess here. The High Priestess is a card of potential. The High Priestess, she has no roof over her head on this card. And so it's kind of like a card that says there are no limits to what you can accomplish at this time. And there are no limits to what you could be asking the universe for at this time either. I would just ask. I do feel there is a need for you to like embrace the mystery as well, because you have the Chariot coming up in the last row. The Chariot kind of sometimes, it's a card of willpower. It's a card of a victory, really good card, and it can be a card of moving as well. But sometimes I feel like the Chariot says, like, you have to go on the journey. You have to enjoy the ride. You have to, it's like he isn't where he is going yet. He even looks like the Magician on this card. He's also holding the wand that the Magician is holding, the Chariot driver. So again, it's tied into a new beginning, but he isn't there yet. He is only just starting his journey on the Chariot. He is only just leaving that city that is behind him, right? So I feel for some of you, it's kind of like saying, hey, you're about to go on this journey. Enjoy the ride. Again, I always tell people it's like the middle part that is the good part. This is why I encourage people to want new things, because it's like getting to the goal. It's like the getting there that is the fun part. It's like once you get something that you've always wanted, it's like kind of like how quickly have you gotten bored when you've gotten something that you wanted? Like pretty quick. I don't know. It happens to me. So not with everything, but for the most part, it's like the journey that is the good part. It's the journey that is the exciting part. That's where we have all the good experiences. And I feel like the Chariot is trying to kind of like encourage you to do that. I feel like the Chariot is encouraging you to almost like want things, right? It's like there is a belief, like even in the spiritual communities, where it's like, you know, some people think that like wanting something is a bad thing, or they look at it as a, you know, a greedy thing or something like that. But you know, every single person that I've ever heard say that has nothing in their life. So it's like, is that a good thing? I would say no, and I mean literally nothing. So I would say no. I think we are meant to create our own reality. I think we're meant to create things and get things. And to me, it's a cop-out as well. The people that say like, oh, you know, you shouldn't have a desire for money or all these other things. It's like, okay, that's fine. But if you have the ability to make a shit ton of money, then, and you don't want it, that's fine. But there are plenty of people who need it. So it's like, you know, I always think that it's a cop-out when people say, oh, money isn't spiritual or whatever. It's like for being lazy, you know? It's like, if you don't want it, great, give it to someone else. But if you have the ability to make it, then you should make as much as possible. Because again, we're here to create our own reality. And I feel like that Chariot is saying there are things that you want. It's like, do you have to have those things forever? No. You can, maybe there's a pair of shoes you want. It's like, maybe you'll only enjoy those pair of shoes for a short period of time, but you can always donate them when you're done with them. You can give them to someone else who might want them as well. And then you're like spreading the wealth. You're spreading the abundance, right? You're not one of those people that's saying like, how dare you want something? Right? Drives me nuts if you can't tell, Gemini. Because again, to me, those people are part of the reason why we don't have a lot of abundance in today's day and age, right? So I'm here to change it, and hopefully you are too. Rant over. But next you have this total submersion card. This card says, don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, interest, or goal. Give it 100% of your energy, and you may find what your life has been lacking. There you go. It's kind of weird because like pretty much, I don't know, like every single sign that I've read for has had a message like this about like needing to really dive in. I even just said to another sign, I think it was Aquarius, I was like talking about jumping off a diving board, and I'm like, you have to jump all the way in. It's like, if you've ever seen those YouTube videos where someone hesitates before they jump off a diving board and they like fall and they hit the diving board, that's this energy. It's like saying, don't just like try to jump off the diving board, you know, take the full leap off the diving board, go all the way. And this reading is definitely an all-the-way reading. You know, this reading is, you know, especially at the end here, Chariot, the Knight of Swords, this is like going all the way. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Five of Swords here. A little bit of stinking thinking right here, again. We kind of talked about this at the beginning of the reading. Not a big deal. I think it's just, you know, I think it just is what it is. Like when you enter into a period of time where your energy lowers, then I think you just need to bring it back up. It's just that simple. We're not perfect, you know, we're not perfect human beings, right? I think I don't know, social media, the government, school, I don't know, I'm gonna blame something, makes it seem like we have to be these like, you know, perfect, pristine little angels, and we can't ever do anything wrong, and we can't ever have a wrong thought or a wrong belief. So whenever we get into these moments where our energy lowers, I think we can be like, we can almost punish ourselves. I feel like this is saying don't do that. It's like me, for example. It's like I've had, you know, there are moments, I'll bare my soul to you, right? I've had moments where it's like on this channel, I'll have videos that I'll put up that I think are going to do really, really well, and they don't. And then I'm like, oh, how dare people not watch my videos, right? But then I always say to myself, hey, you know what? It's still, they have a ridiculous amount of views, and you know, it's like I have to remind myself to gain a new perspective. So I'm not perfect. I have moments where I get a little bit snarky or whatever you want to call it, or maybe a little bit unappreciative, but I always bring it back up. I always say, hey, you know what, like, how dare you like years ago you were getting like 100 views per video. So it's like you have to be grateful for what you get. And the reason I'm saying this is because that's what I'm getting here. It's like, we're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. And that's why I'm not afraid to tell people. I think some people are afraid to say that they have moments where they get greedy or whatever. I'm not afraid to say it because I'm a human, right? And it happens. But it's like what you do after or what you do with the energy that's important. It's not important how you feel in the moment necessarily, as long as you raise your vibration. And yeah, I feel like you need to hear that, Gemini. I don't know why, but it popped into my head. So, you know, that's what I would say here with this middle row. I just feel like there's no reason for me to cover those cards individually, because I think it's just a collective kind of, you know, one message that's going on there. But like I said, perfect. Here you go. In your last row, you have this tiny triumphs card. This card literally just says you need to have those small wins. This is a pretty interesting looking card, but I think small wins are going to be your best friend. I feel this is true for a lot of different signs, not just you, but it is kind of being highlighted for you here in your reading. You have the Chariot, the Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Cups in this row. I do feel like there could be communication coming in for you in love. So if you're looking for love, definitely love opportunity coming in for you. The Ace of Swords could represent meeting someone online from a distance with the Chariot. So some of you, that could be the case. For others, would just be because of a change. Like Ace of Swords and Chariot for love could say that you're moving, or it could say that someone is moving towards you and you could meet a person that way. Could also just be moving jobs, moving businesses, changing your location. Maybe you always go to one store, maybe you go to a different store. Any type of change, right? I always like to remind people that with the Ace of Swords and the Chariot, it's like any type of change could be very beneficial, especially in love. It's like maybe you go to the same gym. Maybe there's just no one at the gym that you're interested in. Go to a different gym. You never know. It's like changing your location could be the thing that brings like love into your life. Doesn't even have to be love. It could be business. It could be, obviously if you want to, I don't know, if you want to sell like, hot coffee, it's like you probably don't want to be in the desert. It might be better to be somewhere colder where people actually want what you're selling, right? So I feel that for a lot of you, this last row is talking about like you need to go where people want what you're selling in all areas of your life. I don't think it's just love or business or anything. Again, I feel like this Chariot is saying like enjoy the journey. I think for whatever reason, that's what I'm feeling on the Chariot. I almost never say that with the Chariot, but I feel like it's saying like the getting to the goal is going to be the fun part. I would be focusing on small wins as well, which that message has gone away for a while, but it's coming up here for you. I think like creating those small wins every single day, adds up to one big win. But I feel like it also is very motivating when we have small win after small win after small win. It like starts to snowball. And the Chariot is a card of momentum. It's like a card that says keep the momentum going. Make sure that you continue to have small wins every single day, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be like, I always make the joke, but it's not really a joke. I'm being serious when I say it could be like one push-up. Maybe you're trying to improve your health. Do one push-up if that's all you can do. But then over time, then you'll be able to do 2 and then, 3 and then more and then more and more. So it's about like kind of stacking those small wins. And I don't care how small they are. I would be doing it. You have the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords is about some sort of victory, so I definitely feel like there is like a victory or good news coming in for you. Really pretty simple reading. Like I said, I feel like there's a dip and you're about to come back up here. So I wouldn't be, if you're watching this in January and you're experiencing a dip in your finances, a dip in your love life, which it looks like you are, I think it's just going to go back up, plain and simple. I want to see what this card is right here. Yeah, you have this Grand Symphony card. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that you had this card recently, Gemini, this Grand Symphony card. It's kind of like a card of everything coming together, kind of having everything you want in your life, kind of. And I feel like you're heading towards that. Love it. So thank you for being here, Gemini. I really appreciate it. Again, part 2 is going to be linked up down below. It's free. It's on YouTube. Just click it down below and you can watch part 2 for this reading where we're going to clarify this and go in deeper detail. But thank you and definitely enjoy your first quarter.